What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. It is officially UFC Ultimate Fighter Season 27 Fight Night. It's going down tonight starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Right now, we are currently joined by one of Joe Giannetti's cornermen and teammates, Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien. What's going on, Chris? How you doing?
What's up, Eddie? How's it going, bro?
It's going good, man. I mean, I'm so excited here, and I'm, a few thousand miles away from where you are. You guys are out there in Vegas right now. It seems like the weight cut went well. You just landed on Wednesday, so you got to be so excited, man. Who are you with currently right now while you take this phone call?
I'm actually with my buddy Mike De Silva. We're actually I'm not cornering Joe. That's our coach just got his corner. But a group of us came out. We flew out from Boston Wednesday night on the 4th, which was kind of cool. Flying out on the 4th, never done that before. So just kind of seeing like fireworks like while you're taking off. It's kind of a cool experience. But so me and him roaming out here, staying at the Luxor on the Strip, and we're about to go meet up with Joe and some of the other people. Grab some food, and then it's game time, baby.
So listen, man. Tomorrow night, tonight it's going to be going down. But last night we had the weigh-ins go down. What was that like seeing Joe up there on the big stage? He made weight, and the next step is really getting some food in his stomach, and then fight night. What did you feel when you saw your teammate up there, on the big stage?
Honestly, I walked in there thinking like, wow, like this is like so cool, like this, this like amazing thing that we've all been waiting for to happen and that we knew we could do. And like I went and sat down with like the whole group that we had there, and dude, it honestly, it feels right at home, man. Like it didn't feel weird. It just felt right with him walking out on that stage and getting on the scale. And if you know Joe, he's kind of lighthearted, kind of goofy, like he's totally 100% locked in, dead serious. I've never seen him like this, but at the same time, it feels 100% natural, and he's just ready to go. And this is where he should be right now. And honestly, man, if I was Trezano, I wouldn't be feeling too good this morning, because this is the most serious, dedicated, locked-in Joe Giannetti I've ever seen. So I think we're in for one hell of a treat tonight.
Well, listen, Mike Trezano isn't really a stranger to you guys. I mean, he's another guy here from the East Coast. Are you guys familiar with him at all before, hearing about him on The Ultimate Fighter?
When the list of names got dropped from the UFC, me, Joe, and a couple of the other guys, like us in the gym, we kind of went through the names and started watching tape, just because, we're fight fans anyways. And so we obviously knew about him. And the other name that stands out was Alan, too. I mean, obviously coming into the competition 13-0. So he was definitely on the list of names, all right, we got to watch out for him. What is he good at? All that stuff. So we knew of him. I know he's from Jersey. I know he's got pretty good, he's pretty good everywhere. But I think there's definitely big holes in his game that match up really poorly for him against Joe. But other than that, he's from Jersey. He likes the Yankees, so obviously he's not a fan of ours anyway. So, but hey, I think it's gonna be a good scrap.
Well, you know what? I think he actually originally fought at featherweight before coming on to this season. So that's an extra 10 pounds he's putting on there. But you got to remember, this guy is undefeated. He has some mix-up between, submission wins, some, TKOs. How do you see this fight playing out?
I don't mean to discredit Trezano or anything. He deserves to be here. Obviously, he's another guy like Joe. Not only is he undefeated in his pro record, he's undefeated in his amateur record, too. Has a ton of titles and stuff to his name. And like you said, he did fluctuate between featherweight and lightweight. So, he's not exactly, it's not like he's a featherweight first time fighting at 55. But, he looks good for the weight. As far as, the weight and the weight cut and stuff, this was the easiest one for Joe. He's in phenomenal shape. So I see this playing out like a lot of Joe's fights. I think Trezano's going to get frustrated. I think Joe uses his reach and does enough unorthodox things to really throw you off your game, and then you start playing into his. He's done it time and time again. You just saw that with Alan. Alan is no, he made him look like like, wow, like you're 13-0. Like he almost made him look like, I don't want to like discredit Zuniga, but like he almost made him look like an amateur in there. Like it was crazy, Joe's movement. And he was just so locked in. And like, that's the kind of stuff that Joe brings to the table. He made a 13-0 guy look borderline helpless against them. And I think that's going to be more of the same tonight. I know Trezano's going to come out hard, but I think Joe frustrates him. And I think Trezano gets desperate with a shot. And we know what happens when you shoot from far out with JoJo. So
snatching necks and cashing checks with JoJo.
Yeah,
but you know what?
That's it, baby.
Out of his last 5 fights, Joe is 4 submissions, 1 decision, which is absolutely like astonishing. You know what I mean? And going into this fight, man, like you were just saying, his last fight, the combinations, the kicks that he was throwing in there, just mixing it up, how I say this all the time. He was literally connecting the dots in there. It just looked so natural. And then to see him yesterday at the weigh-ins, so zoned in and, not an expression on his face. Did he kind of let loose a little bit afterwards, though? I saw him, go immediately to Krispy Kreme.
This morning, yesterday morning we were kind of walking to go grab breakfast or whatever, and we happened to walk by Krispy Kreme, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's happening." But it's good stuff. Man, he's locked in. Like I said, I've known him for a while now, and when he's with us, even last night, we're joking around, having a good time. It wasn't like everything serious, real uptight or anything. But when it's coming to this fight, when he's in front of Trezano, man, I've never seen this kid so set, man. Like I said, I don't know if I was Trezano, I would be waking up with a smile on my face today after seeing him at the weigh-ins. He's locked in, and I think Trezano's in for a rough night.
So I'm looking at Tapology right now, and just to update everybody, this is what is on Tapology currently for the odds. You got Joe Giannetti at -160, slight favorite, and you got Mike Trezano at +135, slight underdog. Mike Trezano at 26 years old, almost 27, and then Joe G at 23, and 1 day old, man. So this kid just had his birthday?
Yep, his birthday yesterday, man.
Wow.
So it's a good birthday. He made weight, went and, ate all the stuff he could, went to Krispy Kreme. So, and today he's going to get a contract. So, as I've been saying, it's not fight day, it's contract day.
It's contract day. Man, thank you so much for calling in. Last but not least, well, let me say this, 73% of the Tapology community is going with Joe Giannetti, 27% with Trezano. Guys, if you want to hop over to Tapology and make your vote, hop over there so we can get a good feel of what the community is expecting as we march into tonight, and especially tomorrow night. I got to ask you one last question, Chris, before we let you go. Tomorrow night, DC versus Stipe, who you got?
Dude, that's tough, man. And then Stipe put on that performance. It's hard to go against Stipe at this point. He's just proven time and time again that he's the best heavyweight, he's the baddest man on the planet. But DC's never lost at heavyweight, I think the big thing is DC's wrestling. If he gets him down, I see him winning a 5-round decision. If he can't, I think DC gets stopped. I'm going to go DC as of right now, but I think it's a coin toss.
You never know. We got to still wait. Hopefully these guys will make it in there because, DC made that little trip yesterday, made a lot of people nervous. But you know what, Chris? Thank you so much for calling into Pure Evil MMA once again, man. And you got an upcoming fight as well that was just announced, one of the biggest fights in Cage Titans history, and it's going to be going down with Chris O'Brien and his opponent. What's your opponent's name, just so I pronounce it the correct way?
It's Matt Bina. He's fighting out of ZenQuest in Springfield, I believe.
Well, it's going to be going down. What's the date that's going to be going down? I shared it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I got you. It's August 18th. So it's Cage Titan 40, August 18th at Plymouth Memorial Hall, Plymouth, Mass. Me and Matt Bina. So he's #1 ranked in Massachusetts as far as Tapology is concerned, and I'm #2. So this fight came to be because I looked at the rankings and said, who's above me? And we reached out to him, and he accepted because, he's kind of cut from the same cloth as me. He wants the toughest fights, and so do I. So we're going to make this happen 1 and 2 in Massachusetts, and we're battling for the state, baby.
What exciting time to be alive and to be an MMA fan and to, be you guys right now. The South Shore boys, guys, you only live once, and I'm so excited and proud of where you guys are right now. So thank you so much for joining me, man, and we wish you guys best of skill tonight.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, and good luck to my boys. Contract day, baby. Let's get it.
Hey, behave yourselves. There you guys go. Chris O'Brien, the Cage Titan Emmy champion, man. And you know what? tonight it's going to be going down for Joe Giannetti. I am so excited, so proud of all of these guys on this season. And if this is your first time tuning into Pure Evil MMA, let me mention, before tonight's fights go down, we've interviewed so many of these guys from this season. We had Suman Makatrain on, who unfortunately is not going to be fighting on tonight's card due to an injury that he suffered during the season of Ultimate Fighter. If you guys were watching along the way, it was very frustrating for him. He came on to talk about that, so you guys can check that out down below. We also spoke with Joe Giannetti, who made it through the first episode, first off, getting a submission win in like 11 seconds or something stunning like that against John Gunther. John Gunther is going to be fighting tonight as well. I'm looking forward to that fight. He's going to be fighting Zuniga, who Joe Giannetti just beat in his last fight inside the Ultimate Fighter house. Also, we spoke with the violent Bob Ross. That was a very interesting interview. And, I asked him a very interesting question. I was like, you got all these undefeated guys this season. So, there was a lot of egos going around the house. So what did you learn? What was the big difference that you learned between ego and confidence? And Lewis's answer was right from the heart. Very true, honest answer. You guys can check that out down below here at Pure Evil MMA on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, wherever you're tuning in to watch this right now or listen. Also, we had on Jake Janela, the mellow fella. And you got to love this guy. There's even a drinking game named after him that the MMA community made up. And I actually shared all these interviews on my Twitter page. So if you're not following me on Twitter, that's a big mistake. You can follow me at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. And a big announcement, guys. Unfortunate news here for Pure Evil MMA. My account was suspended on Instagram. And that's at Pure Evil MMA. So I had to make a new one. But I'm not letting that upset me. I think God has a plan. I say this all the time. God has a plan. And I can tell you right now, it feels good to get a fresh new start. Be a little more professional with my page. I get a new chance to, follow the people I want to follow instead of, when I made the account back in 2010, I was just following anybody and anybody. And it's kind of annoying seeing, people I don't talk to anymore, seeing their posts. Only people I want to see or talk about or hear from are the fighters or other MMA media. So it is a nice, refreshing new start, and you guys can follow me at Pure Evil MMA _. It's not even any different. You can literally just type in at Pure Evil MMA, and it'll just pop up for you. So make sure you follow me there. It is a little upsetting that I lost a few thousand followers. That definitely is a low blow. And whoever's out there whistleblowing, man, this one's for you. I mean, WTF. I keep it 100. I don't bash any fighters. I speak what's on my mind. I don't hold back, but I also don't take it too far. You'll never hear me tell a fighter that they need to retire. You'll never hear me bash a fighter. And if I have, it's constructive criticism, not that I'm, their coach or anything, but this is my job, media. I went to school for this. So whoever's out there whistleblowing is just like, come on. Like, really? Really? So whoever's out there doing that, this one's for you. Either way, guys, tonight it's going down. Israel Adesanya going up against Brad Tavares. That's a very exciting matchup because Brad Tavares, man, he's fought some of the toughest guys in that weight division, and let alone the last couple of years. I mean, we have seen a change since 2013, 2014 when Brad was fighting some of the topper echelon guys, and now he's kind of taking a step down, and I'm not saying that in any disrespect. I'm saying, they threw him to the wolves. But now you're seeing a more consistent Brad Tavares. You're seeing Brad Tavares close in the holes that he had in his game and, be a more complete fighter. And Israel Adesanya definitely has his hands full. Now, there's a lot of people saying that they're throwing him to the wolves early. But you could also say that about Cody Nolov. And look what happened to Cody. He had a great run. Beat Dominic Cruz, one of the best bantamweight fights I've ever seen in the past 5-6 years. So is it too soon for Israel? Are any of you guys out there nervous for Israel Adesanya tonight? Because there is definitely some need to be nervous, but at the same time, this guy is no stranger to the stand-up game. But the ground game is what worries me, and Brad Tavares has a really good wrestling game. Let me take a look really quick at Brad's last few fights here that he's had inside the octagon. I mean, if you look at it, man, he's got a really good record of 17-4. He's on a 4-fight win streak right now, with his last loss stretching back 3 years ago to Robert Whittaker, who is now holding the belt. After that fight, he beat Magliese. He beat Elias Theodorou, and Elias said he would love to have that fight back. After that, he beat Thales Leitz, and then Jotko. But you know what? That's a step down. You know, if you look at some of the guys that he was fighting before that moment and before that Whitaker fight, it was more the top guys. So he's taken a step down here, but I think that was a good decision for him. Now he's on a 4-fight win streak, and he's going to be able to prove, you know, he's holding that number 10 spot in this weight division. This middleweight division is stacked. Israel Adesanya is not yet on the top 15 yet. This is a huge fight for him. I don't know if this was the smartest fight for him to pick. And I don't know, was this fight on short notice or something like that, if I remember? But right now, we have Israel Adesanya as the negative 130 slight favorite. You got Brad Tavares, shockingly, at a plus 110 near even. And the Tapology crew going 55% for Israel, 45% for Brad. So it's very close. But a lot of you guys out there that are voting for Israel have it going to finish via TKO. Now, he also has a 6-inch reach advantage, which you got to keep in mind. But Brad Tavares, that's nothing new. That's almost like, you know, DC versus Stipe. You know, Stipe has a huge reach advantage, but DC, no stranger to him. It's going to be a very interesting fight. 13-0 Israel Adesanya. In his last fight, man, you know, split decision, he was not happy with that. The fight before that, when he made his UFC debut about 4 or 5 months ago against Rob Wilkinson, who was undefeated at the time, that was a very interesting fight because Israel Adesanya broke him down very slowly. He had those body shots in there. He was just, you know, piecing them up throughout the fight. Didn't take any real damage. I even believe there was a takedown in there where he just popped right back up. This is a true test for him tonight. This is going to be a third fight inside the octagon. I don't know if these odds actually match up to reality. But I am picking Israel Adesanya, or am I picking Israel Adesanya tonight? Shout out to the Pure Evil MMA Army out there. I am doing a giveaway for you guys. $25 gift card for Amazon. And this is for the Pure Evil MMA Army that has been with the crew. If you want to join the Pure Evil MMA family, you want to get on this Pick'em League, all you got to do is DM me on Twitter, and we'll work something out with you. And let me say this. For you guys tuning in right now that are just hearing this, you didn't see the DM in the chat room. Yes, we are doing a $25 gift card giveaway for Amazon. All you have to do is tonight and tomorrow night, do the best you can on your picks. You don't necessarily have to come in first place, but I'm going to be combining scores from last night or tonight and tomorrow night. Whoever has the most points will be receiving a $25 gift card for Amazon. And currently right now in first place, we have Iceman holding first consistently throughout the year. Very steady first place holder. And he's one of the best in the world, even ranking the top 10 in the world last year. We got some good players here in the Pure Evil MMA Fantasy League. Even Minion McGrunnen, you know, placing number 1 in Paris. In France, like, come on. Represent. Pure Evil MMA. Street team out there all over the planet. It's not a big planet, 23,000 miles round. I will say this. I did just launch the Pure Evil MMA merch at teespring.com. All you got to do is go to teespring.com/Pure Evil MMA swag. That's right. Teespring.com/Pure Evil MMA swag. And you get your hands on some of the latest gear that I designed. And Minion actually made that cartoon. But let's look at some of the other fights going on tonight on the Ultimate Fighter Season 27 finale card. As we move down, you know, that co-main event is Mike Trezano versus Joe Zanetti. Below that, we got Brad Katona versus Jay Cuccinella. Jay Cuccinella, man, I mean, he lost early on in this season, and he was very smart with what he did. He went backstage to talk with Dana White and says, this show is full of opportunity. This show is opportunities. And I'm looking for the opportunity to get back in there now that, you know, so-and-so is injured. You had 3 winners, 3 guys who won their fights this season, all injured. Jay Cuccinella taking that spot and going up against Brad Katona. Very tough fight at 145 pounds. Jay Cuccinella 8-0. Brad Katona 6-0. Katona from Canada too. Coming into this fight as a negative 245 moderate favorite. You got Jay Cuccinella as a slight underdog at plus 125. I do not like making my picks when I have talked to the fighters. I am leading towards Brad Katona here, but my heart is with Jay Cuccinella, obviously, because I am being a little biased. And knowing his story, even Brad's story, both these guys have an amazing story. I mean, Jay Cuccinella training with Team Barnett out there. in the United Kingdom. 14% on Tapology are going with Jake Cuccinella. 86% with Brad Katona, but surprisingly, a lot of you guys out there see this going to a decision. And I as well see this going to a decision. But I will say this, Jake Cuccinella in his last fight looked phenomenal. You know, he got dropped a couple times in that first round. Tyler Diamond being like, was that a 10-8? 10-8? Was that a 10-8? Mind wrapped around it. Going to the second round, the third round, Jake Cuccinella biting down and taking everything that he learned, boiling it down into this one moment and connecting the dots. I love when I see that. When you see this with guys who are hungry especially, and to see him get this TKO and to know that he came back and got this opportunity from Dana White, that was a huge win for Jake Cuccinella. And I'm not throwing any shade his way when I make my prediction or tell you guys how I feel about this fight, or if you have five. If you got 5 on it, I go for Brad Katona here. But I really don't know what to expect, because you got to remember, what you witness inside this Ultimate Fighter house is 16 guys living together in a house for 6 weeks. It's not like they're at their gym. It's not like they're in the comfort of their home. They're out of their element. So, and they're learning new things that they're trying inside their fight. It might be risky. You also might be seeing guys trying to take it easy in there, because you got to remember, you got to keep fighting. If you win the fight, you got to be healthy enough to win the next one. So it's hard to know what to expect and to make too much of a judgment on these guys in these positions. But Jake Cuccinella putting all on the line in that last fight and deserved a spot here in the finale for sure. So it is a little upsetting to see such a low number go for him. This should be a great fight. I do see this going to a decision, though. What do you guys think? Let me know on Twitter. I am making daily polls as of late. Every morning before 11 a.m. Eastern Time, I release a poll on the Twitter page at evil_echo. Don't want to miss that. All right, so we got Bruce Leroy. Alex Caceres, who's been really hot and cold lately with a record of 13-11, going against Martin Toro Bravo, who is coming off a loss, and it's his only loss in his entire career. And it was a rough loss, man. It was against Humberto Bende, and it was via head kick 10 months ago. Is that enough time to recover? I'd say so. About a year. But Bruce Leroy, man, coming into this fight as a slight favorite, which is a little surprising here. Or is it? He's coming off a loss as well. In his last 5 fights, he's won 2, lost 3. His last fight, he lost against Gun Wong. Fight before that, he won against Rolando Dai via TKO. The fight before that, he lost against Jason Knight via submission. Before that, Yair Rodriguez and that spinning shit fight. Before that, Cole Miller. And you know what? He looked amazing against Cole Miller. I can't even believe that was 2 years ago. Alex Caceres, he's a guy training with some of the best in the world. But he just hasn't been able to, I don't know what it is with him. And once that fight happened 2 years ago, I thought that, this was it. He's focused. He's ready to go. And it's not like those fights that he, against Jason Knight, it's not like those were out of his range. Yair Rodriguez, maybe he shouldn't have, try to be too entertaining and focus more on the fight against Yair. I think that Bruce Leroy could have won that fight. I had Bruce Leroy winning that fight, but I think that he was just trying to put on for the audience, and that was a big mistake that night. But here you go. This should be a fight that he should be able to win. He's coming in this fight as a slight favorite. 73% of the Tapology going for Bruce Leroy, 27% for Bravo. But most of you guys taking this fight by decision. All right, so we also got Roxanne Modafferi, the vet, the pioneer of women's mixed martial arts, going against Bob Honchak, another pioneer of women's mixed martial arts. But surprisingly, both these girls are on 2-fight losing streaks, both of them. Barb's only lost 3 fights in her entire career, 2 of them coming inside the Ultimate Fighter house and in the octagon against Lauren Murphy. Roxanne Modafferi, on the other hand, her last fight against Nico Montano, where she stepped up last notice. You can't really hold that against her. She really saved the night. Originally, Sarge Eubanks was supposed to fill in. Fortunate, she was not able to make weight. Something happened. She ended up at the hospital. Roxanne Modafferi kicks in. This time last year, she kicks in. And I saw her tweet something out that had me cracking up this morning. She said, Dana, let me fill in for Max Holloway, and posted the picture of Roxy versus T-City. Much respect towards Roxy, especially her coming out in her usual fashion. If you guys missed that, I will not spoil it for you. Roxanne Modafferi versus Barb. My pick here, I'm going with Barb to win this one. Probably by decision, though. 63% of Tapology going with Barb Honchak, 37% with Roxanne Modafferi. The odds got -175, slight favorite for Barb, the Little Warrior. Well, that would be awesome to see her get another win. You know, she's almost 40 years old here now, guys. Been in the game for so long. She had wins in the Ultimate Fighter House against Rachel Ostovich, who's also fighting on tonight's card. She had a win over Jillian Robertson. Let's see. As we move down, what's we got? All right, so Rachel Ostovich, which I know a lot of you guys and girls out there drool over Rachel. You know, it was amazing to see her win her last fight, move on to 4-3, get that submission armbar in the, I believe it was the first round against Korean Gavorian. But Montana De La Rosa, man, she's also coming off a win to Christina Marks via armbar. And she has a different name than what she had on the Ultimate Fighter. And it's kind of cool to see some of the Ultimate Fighter vets come back, especially from last season. Or it doesn't matter. They usually throw a lot of veterans that have been in the Ultimate Fighter house on the finale show. So it is cool to see this. And we haven't seen Rachel in there, I believe, since last year's finale. Montana De La Rosa was a big favorite on the Ultimate Fighter. Unfortunately, was not able to come or make it to the finale when she lost to Nico Montano via decision. The odds for this one, -160, slight favorite for Montana De La Rosa. Rachel Ostovich, +140, slight underdog, fighting for Honolulu, Hawaii. How about that? You know, bring it to Hawaii. You know, is the UFC or Bellator going to be bringing it to Hawaii? What is going on here? You know, you had this fight the other night with McFarlane, who brought in more views than Bellator's last few cards. So you got to give her a round of applause on that one. That's remarkable for a female to headline a card and to be able to bring in that many viewers on a live card. Big thing, big word right there, live and free if you have a cable package. This whole Danzin thing where they're bringing this on. Listen, you heard us complaining about not having the live streams. Bellator has a great roster, building a great roster, and they're trying to fix things. I see that. But who out there is going to want to pay for Bellator cards? You know, they tried this with the pay-per-view card last year in New York, and I don't know if they had a success with it or not. I ordered it, but I just don't see them in a position to be calling that shot for pay-per-view. UFC struggling with it. The pay-per-view model is just very hard when you have all these illegal streamers out there. That's the thing. That's what people don't realize. Is that, yeah, the numbers are low, but if you only knew how many people are watching that illegally, it would blow your mind. The sport's doing much better than you think it is if you're looking at those numbers. Trust me. Trust me. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Almost 2020 right now. So for them to want to charge people, I think is a huge mistake. I think that's going to hurt them, if anything. I mean, you're on the Paramount Network. Why can't this be figured out? What is the issue that you can't go, like, why can't you guys align and meet to somehow figure this out? Now you're going to have ESPN charging UFC fans. You're going to have Danzin charging Bellator fans. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess if you ask me. Now let me check in the chat room. Do we got the chat room going on? Here, do I got the chat room open? No, I don't. Jesus. All right, so let's move on. Luis Pena versus Richie Smolin. Richie Smolin on this season Ultimate Fighter coming out of SBG Ireland, training with Conor McGregor. Not training with him, but training at the same gym as Conor does. And there was a freak accident, something that never happened before on the Ultimate Fighter ever. I asked Rosendo Sanchez about this. He was like, man, when this happened, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know if it was nerves. I know it was this. But I will say this. The doctors did say, you know, it wasn't nerves. It wasn't anything like that. It was an actual cramp. I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately, but it's a cramp that does not just go away in 10 minutes. And it does not go away if, you know, Heavyweight Kane's doing deep tissue massages either, which I saw that, Kane. That was good. We saw that. We saw that. You're going in. It's going in on that. But either way, he has a time to shine tonight. And this is the fight to watch, if you ask me. Outside of the main and co-main event, this fight I'm going to be at the edge of my seat for. Smolin was supposed to be a big star on the season Ultimate Fighter. And I think the reason we did not see him get promoted or even hear about him or see him on any of the commercials was obviously because he didn't fight this season and he had to take an L. Tonight, he has a chance to turn that all around and clear his name, because that's what he's unfortunately going to be remembered for if he didn't make it onto the finale card. And luckily, he made it on the finale card. You know, Luis Pena, another guy, was not supposed to be on the finale. Injured himself during the fight that he had, which he won. One of the best fights on the season. Dana White even brought him over and was like, listen, man, you know, matter of fact, let me play the clip from Luis and I's interview, really short clip, about, you know, how that moment made him feel. Let me see it.
Once I found out my foot was broken, they got me in a boot. I was right back into training, lifting, doing whatever I could. And that's the one thing I kind of wanted, you know, my friends and family to see is like, I talk about this hard work and dedication thing, and it's really easy to do that when everything is going your way and everything is you know, being set up for you. But when the chips are down like that, I feel like true champions, they're never going to stop. They're never, no matter what's in their way, they're going to keep going. And that's what I did, you know what I'm saying? And that was big to me, to keep going, continue to work, continue to grow, and be able to continue to pick the minds of the coaches and teammates that I was around during that time.
So there's that, and then the moment that he won the fight, and Dana White brought him aside. Check this out. Luis, I want to thank you so much for coming on Pure Evil MMA, man. I've been dying to get you on the show. What was your biggest takeaway, though, from this season? What was the one memory that you're going to remember forever?
I can't lie. The one thing I'll always remember is just that moment directly after my fight. Dana White came up to me and was like, man, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen on the show. And I can't tell you what that meant to me, you know, to have the man, the guy that decides sport tell you something like that. It's really it's kind of like a validation of everything I put into the sport, all the sacrifices I made, you know, all the time away from family, everything I put into this. It was great being able to hear that and being able to experience, even if I didn't get to do what I set out to do. And it's going down July 6th.
How about that? I mean, he worded it perfectly. He literally worded that moment perfectly. I mean, imagine that moment to have that. And I remember when Luis messaged me about 2 years ago, we were trying to set up an interview with me and his manager, and he sent me this video of him, and he has it pinned to the top of his Twitter page. And you could see how talented this kid is, even back then in his amateur career. How he's just so smooth and just he's got rhythm. That's what it is. The kid's got rhythm. So let's see what else we got on tonight's card. I mean, that is a potential fight of the night right there. And let's see what the odds are stacked so far. So you got Luis Pena 4-0. You got Richie Smolin, who's 3-0-1, fighting out of Ireland. But Luis Pena at negative 335, moderate favorite. I think that's one of the biggest favorites out of the Ultimate Fighter guys so far. And then you got Richie Smolin at plus 275, moderate underdog. 91% of Tapology going for Pena, below 9% with Richie Smolin. And it seems like it's distributed across decision, submission, and KO, just in that order. Most people going for decision for Pena, then KO, then decision. Also on this card, John Gunther versus Zuniga. This is an interesting fight. We didn't really get to see much of John Gunther this season on the Ultimate Fighter, but he definitely got an interesting story, you know, shaving alpaca, and he did some weird impressions. He did some weird things on this season, Ultimate Fighter, but you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Great heart, good kid, tough fighter. Was ready to go right when he got choked out against Joe Giannetti. He was like, man, I didn't even get going. Come on. That was his exact reaction. So he finally gets a chance to literally step inside the octagon tonight. Same with Alan Zuniga, who is another guy who has plenty of animals back at his house. Let's look at the tail of the tape for the odds for this fight. So coming into it as a slight favorite, John Gunther at negative 145, Zuniga at a plus 130 slight underdog. Zuniga 13-0, John Gunther 6-0. Tapology has Zuniga, 65% of Tapology going for Zuniga, 35% for Gunther. But Zuniga looking like a decision is what everyone's pulling for. Then we got Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell going to be against Tyler Diamond. This is going to be another potential fight of the night right here. 9-0 Bryce Mitchell going to be against Tyler Diamond, who is also 9-0. Very young guys under the age of 27 here. 76% are going with Tyler Diamond, who is coming into this fight. Let's see. We don't even have odds. There are no odds posted here. I will actually message Nolan to get those up here. But I would guess that Tyler Diamond would be the favorite here. I'm going for Bryce Mitchell, though. I believe I did pick Bryce on my UFC pick'em. And I interviewed Bryce, me and Ted Check interviewed Bryce Mitchell about 2 years ago. Maybe a little less than 2 years ago now. Wonderful kid. It was very interesting to see him on the season Ultimate Fighter. You know, he's even getting threats throughout the season, which was very odd because I guess he made a remark saying that he hunted for something and didn't eat it, but then he took it back. I don't know the exact story. I forgot it, and that's not good journalism, but something occurred this season which startled him, and then he even made a video. It's like, you know, you guys are making death threats against me and my family, and we've seen this on plenty of seasons of Ultimate Fighter before in the past. But he made this funny-ass video. He was taking it to heart, but he was also, you know, playing it off like, you know, come on, guys. He made a video of him holding like a freaking shotgun. I was like, if anyone wants to come here and really make a death threat, I dare you. And it was kind of comical, but at the same time scary. You know, you got this guy on television, and, you know, PETA is crazy, man. And I respect what PETA does, but there are some people out there that take things too literal. Take things too serious. All right, moving forward, we got Matt Bissett, local boy here, 22-8, going up against Steven Peterson. Another fighter I spoke with was Matt Bissett and ran into him at CES 50 most recently as he got ready for this fight. 88% of Tapology fans are going with Matt Bissett to win this by decision. And the odds, you got negative 165 for Matt Bissett and a plus 145 for Steven Peterson. This is going down at featherweight, man. And the featherweight division right now is so stacked. Very exciting right now. And unfortunately, we do not have a featherweight championship fight tomorrow night, which is definitely a huge bummer. But Matt Bissett looking to change things around. You know, his last fight, a loss, but he's looking forward to making a splash tonight. Another fight of the night potential here. I mean, I've seen this guy do some crazy things inside the cage. And if he can pull it off on the big stage, he's going to get a huge following. And with 88% of the Tapology fans already going for him, you can kind of feel that vibe already. So then that brings us to our very last fight. We got Oscar Pichota against Gerald Meerschaert, GM3. GM3 coming in at 27-9 as the slight underdog at plus 185. And Oscar, who's 11-0, coming in at a negative 225 moderate favorite. You know, out of Gerald's last 5 fights, he's only lost 1. And that was 11 months ago against Diego Santos via ground and pound. Let's look at Oscar. His last fight against Tim Williams wins TKO KO. Fight before that against Jonathan Wilson wins via decision. Before that, he was not even in the UFC. So this is going to be his 3rd fight inside the octagon. Gerald Meerschaert's 4th or 5th now. Yeah, Gerald Meerschaert's 5th fight. Leaning towards Gerald, man. I'm leaning toward Gerald Meerschaert to win this fight. It's a tough one, though. I don't know. This is definitely a pick-em. 79% of you guys on Tapology going with Oscar, and a lonesome 21% with Gerald. But a good percent of you guys are going with this fight to finish via TKO via Oscar. And we are literally, let's see, 5 hours, 46 minutes away from the very first fight, which is Gerald Meerschaert. So make sure you guys get your predictions in. Good luck to anybody that's in the Pure Evil MMA Army Pick'em League. You have a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card this weekend. If you win, well, you have to combine your scores. I'm going to be combining scores from tonight's Pick'ems and tomorrow night's Pick'ems. So it doesn't necessarily mean if you come in first place, you're going to win the gift card. I'm combining the scores. You can win bonuses. There's all sorts of things that UFC Pick'em brings into play. And it's going to be a really exciting weekend. I look forward to International Fight Week every year. Hopefully next year I will be flown out. You got to tell my MMA news. You got to spend that. You got to spend that. You got to spend that silver. Spend that silver. Let's get Evil Eddie out there. Get someone someone that keeps it 100 in that media room there out in Vegas. But you know what, guys? 5 hours away. The vibe I'm picking up right now, just looking at this card, if we can judge it on paper, if you're somebody that didn't watch the season Ultimate Fighter, you're not going to recognize a lot of these names on here, unfortunately, which brings this down to a 6 out of 10 for me. And I will be reviewing the card directly after the main event goes down tonight, right here on Pure Evil MMA. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, give me that like button, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to see more live streams. Because MMA Holes tonight, if you're not tuning into them, you're missing out. And I do not want to crowd their space. But I would like to start doing some more live streams, some fight companions, see what we can get going here. I've been trying to do that more often for you guys. I've seen a lot of recommendations. Make sure you guys are also following me and James McSweeney's podcast. That is not here on Pure Evil MMA, but it is on the podcast channel on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and now on Spotify. Yes, we are now on Spotify, which is so convenient. Guys, I also launched a new campaign for Pure Evil MMA if you want to get some mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, totes, stickers for $4. I mean, everything's very reasonably priced, and it would really help me here in the studio to support what I'm doing here and give you guys some more content, some more in-depth interviews, and it allows me to take some more time off of work. This is my career. I went to school for this. I did my first interview at 7 years old. This has been my dream, and I've been making it a reality. But without you guys, I'd be a step behind. So it would be a huge help if you guys can support Pure Evil MMA. And just like I'm supporting you guys tonight with this giveaway, good luck to everybody that's involved. Last but not least, guys, white knuckles to the end. Behave yourselves.